Good, son.
Good.
Yeah. Nice. This album is much more cohesive. I put a lot of forethought into the overall sound of the album. So every song, regardless of BPM, regardless of key, is all cohesive. It's all got a similar sound to it, and that is the Scott Brio sound for Ghost Light. I've made tracks where I've completed it in, 6 hours, 3 hours. I've had tracks that have taken me a month. Tracks where it'll take me, 3 to 6 hours. Sometimes I just get in that groove and I get in that mode, and before you know it, I've got something. That was one of the tracks that I made and immediately could start enjoying from a third person's point of view, which is pretty rare when you're a producer. So that track is special to me. Ra is the sun god, Egyptian sun god, and that track is just very powerful, very clubby, very dancey, but I felt like, the whole time you're listening to it, it kind of like Ra.
My favorite track is Raw. I'm really big on artists putting energy into their music and not just, selecting sounds, and I feel like Ghost Light Raw was that track that brought the most energy. That was one of the tracks where I could feel the energy that he had when he made it, and his placement on the album. The 2 tracks it couples are awesome as well.
The story behind Gravity is, when I made it, I originally wanted a track that would go between dubstep and house seamlessly. And after making the track, it seemed like a very heavy track, but then once it got to the middle, when it got to the house section, it lifted up a little bit, and then it brings you back down at the end into the dubstep. So I kept thinking of, this gravitational pull that you would get from the heaviness of the front and the middle, and then the lightness, the front and the end, and then the lightness of the middle. And so I called it Gravity, and I think it works pretty well. Battle Manager is great. He's a good longtime friend of mine. We've been working together for probably about a year and a half, and lots of good things to come from it.
Really, honestly, for all the artists under Battle Management, it's not necessarily just me, trying to get them signed to labels. That's part of it, but it's also pushing them to see how far they can go with what talent they possess.
He's a real good manager. He kind of helps me decide on track names, what my overall sound should be, what clubs I should be playing in, where we're gonna, take certain genres or directions of Scott Brio, and it's a good partnership we got going. The album is for free. I put a lot of time and effort into it, so if you have it, if you like it, make sure to give it to as many people as you can. That's all I ask. That's the payment for me, is having it exposed as much as possible. So get it out there, get it to your friends. We also throw Breathe, which is a weekly dubstep party in San Francisco, right next to Amoeba on Haight-Ashbury. And so if you're in the area, come check that out. It's free as well, and you can get your womp on while you listen to some dubstep and drink some beers.
Battle Management.
It's all good. It's all
Always.
good. Life is good. That's what's good.